Morning, YouTube, and good morning, Rational Roundtable. This is a response to your recent question for those on the political left. I don't know if I qualify as someone who is on the political left. When I'm asked my political views by a fellow American, then my best response that I can give is not Republican. It's a somewhat more complicated and subtle answer. Either A, if I'm asked by a non-American, or B, if I feel like getting into it a little bit more. I would say on balance my views are certainly more liberal than they are conservative. So I guess I qualify to answer this question. And I have to say, my response is that I completely agree with you. I think everything that you have said sounds perfectly reasonable. I have always felt that social programs should not be targeted based on means, as you said. And in fact, just recently I had occasion to talk about opportunity and the problems with inequality along racial lines in America, and I proposed that the best solution would be to, or the most pressing aspect of that issue that we could have a solution for is opportunity by means of education, and that the best way to correct that would be to make every conceivable effort, everything that we try to do with programs like Head Start, everything that we try to do with any kind of program to help anyone get ahead in school, to give everyone every possible advantage, and make it available for every child, for every single student. Not every student will use it, but we should have the means to provide it to every single student in the country. It is my opinion, my sincere opinion, that there is no expense too great for such an investment in our nation's well-being. And for very much the reasons you mentioned, we can't make that dependent on means. We have programs like that now that are dependent on means, and it's pretty clear that they have not corrected the inequality gap. There are, as you point out, lots of people who need that program just as much as anyone else and can't qualify for it. And in the case of educational programs in particular, I would point out that means don't necessarily have anything to do with the need for that kind of program. You don't, you don't, you could have a problem as a student because of your family dynamic without necessarily having your family be poor. Yeah, sorry for all the stammering and stuttering in this video. I'm just recording it straight to YouTube. I'm not going through my machine or, my programs. As far as the rest of what you propose, the rest of social programs, here's something that I have always thought would be ideal. And I don't want to discuss whether the economy can support this type of a program. It's fair to say that if we institute this program, a vast number of other social programs would become redundant and unnecessary and could be eliminated. There are other areas of spending that we could cut. And one could make the argument that this would benefit our gross domestic product significantly. What if, instead of having programs like welfare and subsidized housing and subsidized this and subsidized that, what if we made very low quality but safe and clean and humane housing available to literally everyone, and a certain bare minimum supply of food available for everyone, and healthcare available for everyone, absolutely free. Absolutely everyone. Have all three of these things free, and let's throw in water and electricity and heat too. You don't get the internet for free. You don't get television for free, other than, the public airwave channels, your NBC and CBS. If you can go out and buy a television, you can watch NBC. We provide all this for free. And if if you're living in this free housing, then you have at minimum a kitchen, a living room, a bathroom, and a place to sleep. Some place where a reasonably humane person would find it acceptable that your entire household would have, everyone would have a place to sleep. Not every, a lot of people would not be satisfied living in that type of housing. People would, with this point, what we would have done, we would have made the bottom rung humane. We would have made it acceptable to be, not socially acceptable necessarily, but from a humanitarian point of view, acceptable to be on the bottom rung. There would be no homeless in this system, because no matter how bad off you are, no matter how unemployable, and no matter how lazy even you are, you would have access to, at a minimum, this house and this food, this heat and electricity and water and healthcare. You wouldn't have homeless people getting sick and dying, or you wouldn't have any of the problems associated with that. You wouldn't have desperation and crimes of desperation. And so the rest of us, those who have any ambition at all, we don't want to live in that housing. Not necessarily because it's unpleasant, but socially speaking, we want to be able to demonstrate to our friends and to our families and to potential mates that we're capable of sustaining our own living arrangement, and that we don't need that help. So people would still work. People would not want to be on the bottom rung, because it's still the bottom rung. What we've done is just make it humane. I'd love to hear what you think of that idea. Thanks for listening.